She brought a witness to defend her. But in court, that witness revealed she was actually the father's girlfriend, and the truth turned the entire case upside down. The courtroom exchange begins with a simple question about insurance. $200 a month. Supposedly covering all 3 children. But what seems straightforward quickly unravels. The mother insists she pays faithfully through Cash App or direct deposit. Yet the father's records tell another story. He claims she's only contributed $785 for the entire year. The judge, calling it a travesty, presses for clarity as contradictions pile up. Even the children's ages become disputed, with conflicting accounts forcing the court to suggest pulling birth certificates. Tensions rise further when the father announces he has a witness prepared to testify about his character, and the mother's failure to meet her financial obligations. With receipts clashing, stories contradicting, and evidence now extending beyond money to the very ages of the children, the case is no longer about a single payment, it's about credibility. And as the witness is called in, it's clear the real battle is just beginning. The mother insists she's been paying. But the numbers simply don't align, and the tension in the courtroom keeps mounting as the judge watches carefully. A witness is called. Her name is Shant, but even her presence stirs confusion before testimony begins. The judge reminds everyone to stay respectful as Shantae is asked the pivotal question. Did the mother truly provide $750 each month, or only $785 for the entire year, as the father claims? The answer carries weight, because someone's credibility is about to fracture under pressure. Voices overlap, tempers flare, and the judge threatens to remove both parties if order isn't restored. Shant hesitates, then confirms the father's account that only $785 was ever given in total. With that admission, the judge makes it clear. In this courtroom, speculation and excuses won't stand. What matters are the facts. And they are painting a very different picture than the one the mother is trying to defend. The judge threatens to remove people from the courtroom, as Shantae confirms only $785 was ever given. The father explains that the kids live with him full-time, while the mother keeps interrupting, pushing the judge's patience to the edge. Order is hanging by a thread in this fight. When asked about her relation to the case, Shantae clarifies that although she was called as the mother's witness, she is actually the father's girlfriend. She insists that everything she is saying is the truth, and adds that she has been taking care of the children herself for the past year. That revelation sparks heated exchanges about toys, jealousy, and who really supports the children. The judge demands facts, not drama, but the conflict deepens. The mother lashes out, asking why the father doesn't just take care of his kids and send the money, while the girlfriend pushes back, recalling texts where the mother allegedly thanked her for money but mentioned trips being planned instead of focusing on the children. Voices clash, emotions spill, and what should have been about financial responsibility quickly spirals into a storm of personal conflict. She thought she was doing something by sending pictures of her hairy random run-over body. But the girlfriend dismisses it with, "Honey, don't nobody want that." The mother keeps going, and arguments explode over money, trips, and priorities. The mother fires back, accusing the girlfriend of meddling, while the father demands payment for the kids. The judge steps in to silence the chaos, but every word only fuels the fire. What started as a dispute over child support is now personal, messy, and spiraling out of control. The mother hurls shocking accusations, claiming the children saw the girlfriend involved in drugs with the father, describing him sniffing it off her belly region while the kids walked in. The courtroom erupts, and the judge immediately halts the proceedings. This is going too far. With tempers boiling and reckless claims flying, the judge suggests resetting the case until everyone calms down. Despite the uproar, the truth about child support still needs to be decided. But at that moment the judge makes it clear personal attacks will not replace evidence. The judge grows frustrated, telling all 3 adults that they've come to waste the court's time. Shant is scolded for not providing the clarity the judge expected, while Mr. Lewis insists he filed the suit because he needs help. The mother claims she just wants her children back, but the judge questions whether this case is about support or simply revenge. Tension fills the room as the judge makes it clear the children have been living with their father, and that won't change today. When order is finally restored, the judge lays down the decision. Back child support will be granted to the father, based on his testimony and the witness's testimony. The court accepts that only $785 has been provided all year. With no receipts or evidence from the mother to prove otherwise, the ruling stands. The mother vows to keep fighting, but emotions run high as the judgment falls. $785 isn't enough. And now the consequences of that shortfall become reality. The judge closes with a reminder that testimony is still evidence, even without paperwork to back it up. The judge makes it clear, without proof to counter the father's testimony, the court must assume his account is true. The mother is ordered to reimburse him, with credit given for the $785 already paid. That leaves $8,215 in back child support, to be repaid at $100 a month. The tension in the room deepens as the ruling sinks in, but the numbers don't stop there. When asked about her income, the mother admits she earns $200,000 a year. The judge recalculates on the spot, adding $200 in health insurance credit and capping her support obligation at $2,760, plus the $100 reimbursement, bringing the total to $2,860 per month. Shock spreads across the courtroom as the reality hits. What began as an argument over Cash App receipts has turned into a life-changing order. And the judge reminds everyone this isn't about grudges or revenge, it's about the children and the financial responsibility they are owed. The hearing begins with what seems like a simple question. How much is the insurance? The judge asks. The mother answers quickly, $200 a month. She insists, and that amount supposedly covers all three of the children. At first glance, it sounds straightforward. But almost immediately, the father speaks up, and the tone of the courtroom shifts. According to his records, the mother hasn't been paying $200 a month at all. In fact, he claims she has only sent a total of $785 for the entire year. The judge leans forward, calling it a travesty, and presses for clarity. The mother repeats her claim, saying the payments go through Cash App or direct deposit. But the father swears the money that hits his account is nowhere near what she says. The courtroom begins to buzz with tension. Even the children's ages become a point of argument, with each parent offering different numbers. The judge, exasperated, finally says what everyone is thinking. Looks like we're going to need birth certificates too. Then, to complicate things further, the father announces that he has a witness. The bailiff brings her in, and she introduces herself as Shantae. At first, confusion swirls because the mother had called her as her witness. But when the judge presses, Shantae reveals she is actually the father's girlfriend, and she testifies that she has been the one taking care of the children over the past year. That revelation turns the atmosphere electric. The mother lashes out, accusing Shantae of jealousy, of meddling, and even of sending inappropriate photos. The girlfriend pushes back, insisting she's telling the truth. Arguments spill over into accusations about money, toys, and priorities. The father demands that the mother pay what she owes. Voices rise, tempers flare, and the judge repeatedly pounds for order. The case, which should be about receipts and records, begins to spiral into a storm of personal attacks. Then, the most shocking moment of all hits the courtroom. The mother hurls explosive accusations, claiming the children once witnessed the father using drugs off the girlfriend's body. Gasps ripple through the room. The judge immediately stops everything, warning, this is going too far. With emotions boiling over, the judge considers resetting the case until the parties calm down. But the hearing pushes forward, and the focus returns to the money. The ruling comes down hard. Because the mother provided no receipts or bank records, the judge accepts the father's testimony as true. Credit is given for the $785 already paid, but that leaves $8,215 in back child support. The mother is ordered to reimburse him at $100 a month. But when her income is revealed $200,000 a year, the numbers change drastically. After recalculating, with insurance credits included, her new support obligation is set at $2,860 each month. The room falls silent at the weight of the decision. Finally, the judge brings the gavel down with finality. Respect and evidence, not excuses and outbursts, decide cases in this courtroom. Over $8,000 in back support is owed, nearly $3,000 per month moving forward. And the ruling is clear. This is about the children. As the parties shuffle out, the message lingers: child support battles are not won with shouting or accusations, but with proof, discipline, and truth.